So I asked you to come on this call because you've had some independent experiences with the group and
You know, Daniel, I've been in horticulture and gardens and design for many, many years, and 37. And 37 years ago, it was a very different landscape. And I was taught to kill gardens basically by using pesticides and fungicides and this aside and that aside. And as our wonderful Elaine Ingham said, anything with a side in it usually kills.
Mm,
I couldn't use those products. So I tried to find other ways. And for years, some clients went with me, but I never had anything pure to offer them.
mm,
And then I found the soul food web. And I did that. I don't want to talk too much about myself, but I did that. And then I couldn't, and I believed in it because it's the first time it made sense to me. This was like seeing what's going on underneath my feet. And that excited me. And it also taught me an awful lot that I didn't know. And the one thing I've always loved about being in horticulture is that it's constantly teaching me stuff I didn't know.
mm.
And that is like a source of life for me. When you explained to me what you were trying to do, something, something happened. And it was, if I can believe this product, then I would be so happy to use it because I can't get all my clients that we do maintenance of. And I mean, I design gardens around nature, but we also rely on maintenance to survive most of the time. But I can't convince them to have compost bins, and we're transient. We're not there every day. We can't turn at a certain time. And so I wanted to trial it, and I've trialed it on a few lawns to start off with, and I know their first succession. They're tough as old boots. I've seen lawns go through terrible times and then come back, which always amazes me. Being trampled on, they come back. But I have a few lawns that have serious problems, and we trialed it on one particular lawn, and we only did half the lawn because I wanted to see the difference, and we trialed it several times. What shocked me was seeing changes quickly because I'm used to that, seeing that with chemicals.
Mm.
But what shocked me on this particular lawn, and of course I didn't believe it at first, was that we noticed a color change.
Mm.
That was surprising. But what really shocked me was that at the end of the first application, I had some leftover liquid with the goop in it. And also, I was trialing how much is too much and how little is too much
Mm.
or not enough. And so, their front lawn, which is really severely compromised, there's one area where it wouldn't grow. It was full shade. It had lots of congestion from roots.
Mm.
And I always said, well, maybe we could make it into a shady border. But the
Mm.
client wanted to keep it the way it was anyway. So I just threw this remnants of the last bit of goop on it. And it started to germinate. And well, not germinate, grass started to come up.
Oh well.
And yeah, and I was quite shocked by this. But me knowing me just thought, no, something, what's going on? How is this possible? Um, but it did, and it's continued to grow. And we have applied just a couple of different times more, and there seems to be some kind of interaction. Now, of course, I would put it down to the fact that it's now got some beneficial microorganisms. And because this is a lawn that I have been caretaking, or this garden, for at least 7 years, there's never been a chemical on it. So I was starting from the premise of uncontaminated land, which is rare. So that was one thing that inspired me. I also did a similar thing in my own side. I have a little courtyard down the side of my house, and I have a couple of tree ferns and a container of some perennials. And they always look kind of good, except for the tree ferns. The tree ferns look awful,
Mm.
and mainly because they're in a windy site. But again, I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to do a foliar spray. And I did this foliar spray. And I think I also sent photos to you because I was astounded by how quickly the soil responded. Now, again, this is uncontaminated with chemicals. I mean, I don't use miracle growing things, or, this will make this happen if you apply it. Now, I don't use anything at all. Well, I tried one product prior to this, and that was a product called Sprout, which did increase worm activity, but I noticed that it wasn't for every single plant. And a lot of the woody stemmed plants, like, some of the shrubs like hebes and things, did not like it at all. Rosemaries didn't like it. Lavenders didn't like it. And so there were
Very
certain
carbon
things.
based.
Sorry?
It's very
Yes,
carbon based.
yes, exactly, exactly.
And going back to garden maintenance people, what would you tell them about the goop and little soil smiths?
I would say that you should, above all else, try not to chemicalize anything that you're working with, and try to ask your clients who have an aesthetic belief system to please try working with you to preserve nature.
Mm.
And then model, do what I've been doing, trial the goop, get some areas. You're not promising results, and you're not promising anything instant. What you're saying is what we have to build up is the beneficial microorganisms.
Mm.
And as we can't all compost, or at least compost to the volumes that we need,
Mm.
would you be interested in inoculating your seeds if they have greenhouses, or trying it on your lawn or foliar feed things that are not doing so well? Anything to try and get this product into the soil and onto the plants. When you see those results coming through, you just feel like you're becoming rich and you've got something genuine to offer. So I would say, if you're a maintenance gardener today, just think and dream more. And Winnie the Pooh, who's been a great teacher to me, always goes for a walk, and then it's things that come to him as he's walking. He doesn't go looking for it.
Mm.
And that's been taught to me by nature. And that's been my walks in woodlands, or if I'm disturbed, and because we all have our own mental health issues. And mine very much gets calmed in nature. And I think that gives an awful lot back. So yeah, throw the old ways of doing things and challenge it a little bit to see how you can be part of that. We have enough. We don't need more.